It's just to believe this is a television show and taking us into Hawaii. People will buy houses of hours on it. So easy, all that together, man.
Wow.
We've got a new opening. Let's hear a round of applause for that.
We're going to be famous.
Wow.
Loving that.
Jackie said we're wearing the sunglasses because it's a beautiful weekend here in the Hamptons. No matter what day you're watching us, we're going to show you the weather in just a moment. Beautiful 3 days.
It really is.
But welcome to
Finally,
Weekend
it's
Live.
a nice weekend. Finally,
Nice
it's a nice weekend.
Weekend Live, the Hamptons now. This
Now
is what's
we're
happening
whipping the glasses off.
All right.
everywhere. Bridget Leroy not with us today. Jackie
Is she in
Dunphy
Costa
joins
Rica or
us.
I'm
something?
here.
No, she's not. She was I saw her last night at Canoe Place, or this week, I should say. We always try and say this week or this weekend. For
Great
Jeff
cologne,
Goldblum.
Canoe.
We'll talk about Jeff Goldblum in a second, but
Fabulous.
welcome.
You missed my joke.
What?
You
Yeah,
missed my
well,
joke.
I
Say
miss all
canoe.
his jokes.
Canoe? What a great cologne.
Canoe.
Remember Canoe? Yeah.
Just say them, and if they're funny, we'll laugh.
That's
right,
it.
there
You have to, you know who used to do that? Dana Kennedy used to say, that a colleague of ours from Fox, that
From where?
the great Steve
Entertainment
Ducey.
show.
Steve Ducey would tell you a joke is coming, then he would do the joke, then he would tell you what the joke was all about.
And
You
then
don't
tell
need
you
to
to
do
laugh.
that.
He's so
You don't-
talented, that
You don't
Steve
want to
Ducey.
be that. Okay,
Speaking
look.
of Jeff
but we
Goldblum.
digress. Yeah?
We have a list of celebrity sightings. and
Yeah, there are a
they're
lot of
all
famous
out.
people out here.
As
We
of-
have some of them as guests today, including Monte and Amy are here.
Exactly.
Amy Zerner and Monte Farber, who well-known authors, and technically, what's your title, guys?
They're not sure either. And
We'll make it.
Multimedia personalities. There we go. Yay, good answer.
you
We
don't
just
need a
know them as
title.
Amy and Monte. They're like the best people.
You don't
ever.
need a title here. Also, Jane Ubell-Meyer, who has the great Bedside reading program, has been with us before and supplies books to everyone, is going to talk, as are Monte and Amy, about the upcoming, it's not this weekend, but we're doing a rare thing on this show. We're promoting something in a few weeks.
Yes.
Author's Night.
Yes.
Which I am volunteering for. I will be out there, out and about.
I am not volunteering for Authors Night this year.
It's a hot box. It's a big giant tent that's 30 degrees warmer, and I highly recommend it.
It's a lot of. It is a lot of fun. But
It's massive fun.
I've done dinners, as you know,
Yes.
many
Right.
times.
Yes.
And I'm not doing a dinner this year. I want to enjoy my
What
August.
he means is that after the East Hampton big giant tent, which is almost like speed dating with authors, they hold their book up. You
fabulous.
go, you get a picture and a moment or two with them, and then it's the next person.
autograph.
That night, though, they do something. This is all for the East Hampton Library, if you don't know, and to increase their coffers, because that 5 cents a day does not really go that far for the overdue books. They will have a dinner for a lot of these authors, and Patrick has hosted several.
Yeah, I've hosted one with Roseanne Cash and Dan Rizzi, local
Right.
artist, and I did Katie Couric a few years ago, which was
I
kind of
went
fun.
to. It was fabulous.
We had a fun
I loved
dinner,
it. We
except for when the
loved it.
sprinklers got turned on.
That's okay.
People were dining and having their dinner, and my irrigation system went
Shower
off.
and eat. It's okay.
It was
That's
great.
a true story.
No
and the
worries.
lights went out too, right?
That was another one.
was
That
a
was another
different-
one, yeah. But
Yeah.
the irrigation going off when people are paying top dollar for a dinner is just.
But it's
Anyway,
well
you
worth
started
it.
to say how
Oh,
many
sorry.
famous
Celebrities.
people-
As my friend Demi Reichert said, you can't swing a dead cat, without hitting a celebrity out here.
Oh, dead cats.
So
I
we've
don't like dead
seen
cats.
Blythe Danner, Kate Hudson, Gwyneth Paltrow. They were all at the Surf Lodge, and J-Lo was out and about celebrating her birthday.
Yeah, J-Lo's on her bicycle on a couple of videos riding around Bridgehampton.
In a very flowing dress.
And looking gorgeous, and then seeing that somebody is filming her and going, there's no pictures.
Yeah,
Yeah,
J-Lo
the press just happened to know that J-Lo
Look,
was
people
going
want
for
to be
a
left alone out
bike
here.
ride.
And
Oh, you
Shark
don't think
Shack-
she tipped them off? Hello.
I don't know.
And then at Shark Shack, which is on the Nat Peak stretch, John Slattery, Matt
Slattery.
Lauer,
Yeah, Matt Lauer.
Slattery, and John Hamm.
Who's John
was
Slattery's
cited.
co-star from Mad Men?
His,
Were they hanging together?
I guess so. I
Well,
don't know.
okay, so I saw the next night, I think, at Weigh-Ins, which is in East Hampton. It's a pop-up where Butera is, and if you haven't gone there, outstanding. Like, the food is spectacular, off the charts. You can sit outside, and this is the space that used to be the laundry, and then they updated it to
The Lodge.
the dry cleaning, and then it was
The Lodge.
yeah, the lodge, and then
And then
it's-
And then
Dopo
it
La
was
Spiaggia.
one of the Dopios, or one of the
Dopo.
Dopos, yeah.
Dopo.
Anyway,
Dopo, yeah.
phenomenal pop-up Asian fusion, and there was John Hamm at Weigh-Ins
In the
also.
flesh.
And Matt Lauer, so
In
they're
the
traveling in a pack. The celebrities are going,
Yeah.
they're going.
Marie
Dan Ra-
Chantal of Greece is out here, as
Who?
well as Neil
what I
Patrick
said.
Harris. Princess Marie Chantal of Greece.
I didn't know there was a princess
She's
of
married
Greece.
to a prince, yeah.
You're our princess for this
Oh, there
show.
you go. Where's my halo?
Maybe
no,
actually.
my
Does she know the
tiara.
Prince of Tides?
Ba-da-boom.
That one I
Okay.
got, and I wish I had.
Moving on. Moving on.
And we also have a really cool guest, Brian Arruda, who's a private chef. He's worked with some top people, Daniel Boulud, just for one name. We'll talk more with him about how the catering business has changed now, and the private chef biz is booming. And he runs something called
son-in-law.
ExecutiveChefsAtHome.com, and he'll tell us how that works.
These guys are like little chemists, and if they can't get it done, or if they can't tell you how many micrograms of this or that or fat or carb or whatever, then they get a whole team. And you have this team come in and tell you exactly what you should and shouldn't be eating. That's exciting.
I didn't know that.
Also,
They're dedicated. They are so dedicated. My son-in-law is a private chef. I took them to Maine, my daughter and my son-in-law, for a weekend, and what did he bring for light reading? The Chemistry of Food, which is, a book this thick. He goes,
I
"This is
cannot
what I
wait
love."
for that movie. Hey, speaking of movies, Wolverine and Deadpool, or Deadpool Wolverine, is opening this weekend, if you haven't heard about it.
Ooh, I'm lining up.
It's going to make, well, no. It's, I've talked to 3 people who went to the premiere the other night, including a friend of ours that brought a little camera. We're going to see a little behind the scenes at the red carpet with, yes, Hugh Jackman, and yes, Ryan Reynolds.
More sightings.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And
Well, Hugh Jackman, I don't know if he's out here, or did he rent his house in
that I don't know.
Northwest Woods?
You know, I
didn't
don't
see
think
him.
it's up for rent.
You're-
No,
It's not
I
up for
haven't
rent
seen it.
anymore.
official
It was
spot.
up for
I
rent.
gotta put my binoculars on. Here we go.
So we're going to catch up with them. We're going to tell you when and where that's playing this weekend in the Hamptons, because if you've just joined us, this is Weekend Live, the Hamptons Now, everything that's going on. We
And
have
I'm just drinking
A lot
coffee.
going on.
I'm just
Very
drinking-
Here at LTV, by the way, they're doing something, it's a giant black box in the middle of nowhere, and you really should check it out. This is a
Not
very...
in the middle of nowhere.
Well, it's in...
Don't
it's in,
listen to him.
It's in Sagaponack, but it's keeping the property values down. It's... So they're very grateful. And we're, by the way, LTV is having a fundraiser soon, because look at our equipment. And it's on August 4th. And please join us for that. It's going to be amazing.
Look at my equipment.
Josh, your equipment. So all this weekend, no matter when you're watching this, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they're doing the Music Man Jr., or as Sean Connery would say, the Music Man Jr. And so this is, the kids are doing the show here. It's supposed to be phenomenal.
Yes.
You can actually buy the posters, which the whole cast has signed, so that'll be here
Oh, that's
all
a
weekend
lot
long.
of talented people out here.
LTV is what they do here locally for the community with these shows.
Don't go by this show. LTV does a lot of really
They do a lot of
great
good
work out
stuff.
here.
This show is not one of them, but they do a lot of good stuff.
One by one, by the way, our
Accept it.
guests are now leaving.
Do you,
We
do
want to
you-
also
do you
point out,
blame them? Do you
it's
blame
the
them?
second weekend of Polo, and look how crowded it is. I went to Polo last weekend. Let's put that picture up.
I can't.
I'm going out of order in the pictures.
Did
I
you
apologize
switch some
to the
divots?
control room.
Did you smoosh
But there
some
I am
divots?
standing at the Polo field. And
Yeah, you
there
look
is,
Yes, you are. You're looking good. There you
well,
are.
no,
Okay,
that's
what was
not
that?
quite
That was
right.
the Brady Bunch.
There I am. Look.
Oh, there you go.
It's massive, the crowds. No, I got there really early, before Christy Brinkley, before Gene Shafroff, before all of the local luminaries.
sightings.
Candace Bushnell was there, so was...
Why doesn't she come back and do the show again?
Candace Bushnell will be back, but we like Jackie. Jackie's fine.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Candace
Appreciate
Bushnell will not
that.
come back, trust me.
Also this weekend at the Clubhouse, a band called Deep Donkey. We'll show you a picture of these guys. Here's why they're interesting to the Hamptons.
The name?
They're all, well, besides Deep Donkey, and I have no idea where that name came from, and they encourage you not to. They
I
ask
could say
you-
something,
They ask
but
you
I
not
won't.
to Google it, because apparently some naughty stuff comes up. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I think so.
Here's my
these
Google.
are all, they work on Wall Street during the day. They're bond trader, they're banker guys. And they, one of them, E.G. Fisher, they decided one year to throw a birthday party and they'd all get together and sing. And now they have an album, they tour around, they will be at the Clubhouse this weekend. It's like if the TV show Succession had a garage band in a Ferrari dealership. Basically, that's what Deep Donkey is. They do
I don't
70s,
understand
80s
what
stuff.
that means, but okay.
There's no cover charge. Saturday night, they are appearing at the Clubhouse. Mike Birbiglia is back at the Bay Street Theater all
so
weekend
much
long.
going
Will he come here and
Very,
stop
very
by?
funny comedian. He's so busy. He wishes he could.
And Bill Boggs is stopping by, too.
That's next week.
Oh,
Bill Boggs
okay,
has
okay.
a new documentary series out, The Great Bill Boggs. Also,
Broadcasting legend, Bill Boggs.
Saturday, the Body Watermill Center's summer benefit at the Watermill Center, more at watermillcenter.org. And if you drive by the Bridgehampton High School, which is probably the best monetized school in the country because there are 12 kids going there, and a $2 million gym.
Right.
And you see the parking lot this summer, it looks like a Rolls-Royce, Bentley, Ferrari auto dealership because NBA basketball stars practice there in the summer, and somebody
Get
named
out of town.
Kevin
I didn't know.
Love
That's
from the
cool.
Miami Heat and a bunch of guys get together and do pickup games there. So if you've got kids, go by there. I'm sure they'd love that. And
Well, the cat's out of the bag now.
there's
so.
a Rolls-Royce SUV in there this morning. I drive there and work out. It doesn't show, but
You know,
You
our
work out?
schools.
yes, I'm as
Wait, we
stunned
let
as you
that
are.
we let that go.
Well, you know, whatever.
Finally, Mardi Gras is being celebrated Sunday night at the Talk House. And finally,
Who's Mardi Gras?
okay, maybe you should tell us when you're doing the jokes. And
I never heard of.
finally, our buddy our buddy Chef Joe at Arthur and Sons, who visited us a few weeks ago, just opened this week for lunch. And they've opened the outside. That's Arthur and
Arthur
Sons in
and Sons.
Bridgehampton.
I would love to
That's
go. I
really
just can't
good.
get in.
And it's phenomenal. Well, that's the secret. So
Who
this
do
is
you
the
know?
this is the Hamptons
you know?
hack.
Who do
You
you
can't
know?
get in there for dinner. Go for lunch.
Isn't that where
Most of the
J-Lo
same
had her
stuff.
big soiree?
I don't know.
J-Lo had her soiree at Arthur and
There
Sons.
you go. No wonder we can't
You didn't
get
know
in.
that.
A little later on the
Jody
show.
went. Jody, how was it? Was it fun?
I haven't been yet.
Oh no, I thought you were invited to
there
J-Lo's
you go.
birthday party.
Yeah.
We've got to rehearse this show.
were top
We've
of the
got to.
list. Come
There's
on.
got to be a
Wait.
rundown, something for us to look at.
There is a rundown, but no one ever follows it.
Give me that. Speaking of gyms, Paul Newman used to practice badminton every summer in the Amagansett gym. He would go in there, and there
cool.
was a group of locals that would play badminton. He was an amazing badminton player.
How isn't there a book about that? Hey, look,
Anyway, we
look,
gotta
where's
go.
the time going? Jane Ubell-Meyer joins us a little later on, but I just want to hold this book up. It's called A Northern Light in Provence. She says it's one of the best new books of the summer. The author will be at Authors Night, along with two very famous authors who you're going to meet in a minute, and I think they're going to read Patrick's cards. I'm
Oh,
not sure
let's hope
what's
it didn't
in
go
cards
so
for Patrick.
well. Let's hope I this
First,
time.
here's a look at the weekend weather.
Pa-boom!
This forecast is brought to you by sponsors like Canoe Place Inn and Cottages in Hampton Bays. Fine hospitality since 1697. More at canoeplace.com. And by Douglas Elliman Real Estate and the Elliman Insider with all the latest trends. More at elliman.com. And by the real estate financial expertise of the Melissa Cohn Group and William Raveis Mortgage. Let our family bring yours home. More at Raveis.com. And by the James Lane Post. Covering arts, culture, and lifestyles on the East End. More at JamesLanePost.com.
Go you, Patrick.
Hey, we're back, I think, apparently. And with two of my favorite people, Amy Zerner, Monte Farber. They have some new books. They're going to come, and they're not going to come. They're here. They're here. They're here. They're going to be at Authors Night, which is in a few weeks, benefiting the East Hampton Library. And tell us a little bit about what you're going to be talking about there.
Well,
at
this
Authors
is the
Night.
Creativity Oracle, and there are 80 cards. You know, it's a combination of my art and
Right.
Monte's words. It's all about the creative process. So if you're working on something, you pick a card, and it kind of gives you guidance about the next step to take. You can pick a card if you want.
I will.
We're gonna try and lure all the other authors away so that they'll use it to work on their
We
next
always do
book.
readings at Author's Night, which is August 10th, Saturday, August 10th.
Saturday, August 10th, yes.
And when we show them how it works, so they can pick cards.
Now, if anyone follows Monte on social media, they know that Monte will say, you know, beware. He has these messages that I'm like, oh, it's going to be a good week, or no, I better I just better pull the covers over my. So what's going on now in the?
It's very intense. It's a
Right.
very
Oh.
intense time because the sun was just opposite Pluto, which, as you know, it is all about power struggles.
Pluto, the dog from the Disney movies,
Exactly.
or Pluto, the planet? I'm confused.
Both.
Okay, both. Okay, cool.
Both. I think one's named after the other, but I don't know which
Yeah,
one.
the-
And there's all kinds of stuff going on astrologically right now, but you don't need to be an astrologer to know that things are intense and changing
Right.
and crazy, and I have predicted a lot of that stuff, but
We have to try not to get triggered.
exactly.
You mean because of politics, maybe?
Exactly.
You get triggered because of
But
politics.
Well-
yeah, even in interpersonal family stuff, you know, people are very on edge.
Did my sister stay with you for a week?
Or not.
Oh my
Summer
God!
guests,
Oh
I
my
know.
gosh! For the summer, my sister was here a week. She left.
Well, no, but of course it's a wonderful time to be alive. It's one of those interesting times from the Chinese curse.
Right.
And to get through it, you just have to stay centered, take care of what you can take care of, don't let what
Go
you
out
can't.
in nature,
Yeah,
all
Right.
those positive.
we're so lucky to be out here. Amy grew up out here. I've only
Oh,
been
yeah.
here since 1975.
It's a great place to be. There is a certain energy out here, and I think that's why all the artists end up coming out here.
Yes.
So, but do tell us more about the Creativity Oracle.
Do a reading.
Each card has a message that Monte wrote.
Okay,
So this is the push card. There's all kinds of things where you can start or restart or hold back, or there's a
Right.
procrastination card.
Yeah, it's
so if I
designed.
pick this, you'll interpret this and
Yeah.
let me know what
Yeah,
it means.
And then
and it
there
has
comes with
Amy's
the-
art on it. There's 80 of details from her
Beautiful
art.
color.
Amy's art is amazing.
So there's a
Now-
book that explains how to do it.
Okay, and that comes with the kit
Yes,
that you
Yes.
can buy.
just a
Available on
message.
Amazon, and you're gonna sell it at Author's Night as
Yes.
well.
Yeah,
Okay, so.
and sign it.
I just said that.
Procrastination.
There's 80 cards, people. How did I know?
Ask Jody, I'm always the last one to send like the stuff for this
So
show,
there's
that's why it's
something-
always
So it
chaotic.
says stop focusing on your problems and excuses.
Take a small step.
life. Oh my God, that is my whole life.
Take a small step and do something. Gee.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know, last time Amy and Monte were here, I did pick a card, not a great card, but it was
accurate.
It was really accurate, like
It's always accurate.
hauntingly so.
Sometimes we don't know exactly how to interpret it, but we see how it comes true, and it's all of life is in the cards. This is the tarot, the Zerner Farber tarot,
Right.
and it's also beautiful cards that I did in my tapestry technique, and it teaches you how to do the tarot, which is very popular now.
Right. Now, how do people react when they do the tarot readings at Author's Night?
They usually scream and run outside.
It's because of the heat. They're like,
It's
they're like
true.
COVID super spreader event. You know?
And you could wear like one of those suits that makes you sweat.
Oh my God.
You
Yeah.
could lose like
probably
10
lose-
pounds.
Sauna,
No
a
kidding.
big sauna.
It is a big sauna. Hey, Jackie, come here. Pick a card. Come on, let's see your card.
coming.
Jackie, you're gonna make Jackie come
You know,
over.
we've been at Author's Night since it used to be at Elaine Benson's gallery. One
In
time,
Oh my
1990,
gosh.
yeah.
1990, and one time we were sitting between Joseph Heller
Oh my God, that's Catch 40, or no,
Catch 22.
And Kurt Vonnegut.
and Kurt
was on it.
Vonnegut. They were on
Who
either
lived at
side.
Montauk, Kurt Vonnegut,
Yes.
didn't he?
Okay,
I
let me
think
pick
he
a
lived in
card. I'm gonna pick a
Bridgehampton.
card.
What's that?
Quiet
Go
now,
for it.
very
Nobody
important.
introduced
Sag Harbor, Montauk, what's it like?
Love your
Property
hair.
values to this.
Love your hair.
Oh, thank you.
Here we go. Yeah.
She can't be talking about mine.
Growth. Oh my God, I hope that
Growth.
doesn't mean I'm gonna get fat. That
No.
doesn't mean I'm gonna get fat.
And it doesn't
does
mean you have a growth.
It says feel
No growth?
open and willing and proud of your desire to explore new opportunities.
Oh
Like this
my.
show.
Patrick, will you go out with me? Oh, no,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Barking up the
I
wrong
like
tree there,
that.
sister.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway.
You're
So
fat
what
for the
you
other
see on the
team.
picture, it's a
Yeah.
peacock
Oh,
who's spreading
beautiful.
its
All right, let's do one with
Very
Jody
nice.
if we can. One more,
Yes,
Amy?
of
Come on,
course.
Jody.
Come on, Jody.
Except
How much more time do they have left before they can escape?
Jody, did you pick last time?
I did not.
Okay.
By the way, did you
Going
notice
for
our
this
new
one.
neon sign we've had this summer? Isn't that
it's
cool?
incredible.
This is a new start.
A new
That's what I said
start.
about the new start. Sometimes we just realize that what we have done needs to be discarded and you have to start over.
Perfect.
We won't have you to
Yeah,
kick
yeah.
around
Okay.
much longer.
There we go. So what's your website if people want to find you guys and get
EnchantedWorld.com.
enchantedworld.com?
It has all our books
Yeah.
and my art and my fashions.
Because we've done over 50 books. And Amy has a calendar coming out this year.
Oh, cool. When
And a
is that? coming?
documentary.
And
Oh,
a
that's
doc-
right. You guys are working. Tell
It's
us about
done.
that
It's
before
in the
we
can.
go. Before we go.
Well, Bridget's in it.
Bridget, who?
How
It's
quick
been
they
so-
forget.
Is that chick in Costa Rica?
Yes, exactly.
I'm sure she's watching. I'm waiting for the text message to come through.
She actually stars in it.
Trial.
Yeah.
So it's about everything we do and it goes way back because we have a lot of footage from the 1990s.
This October, we're together 50 years.
Oh my God! Wow, that's
Thank you.
It was in the cards.
Yes, it
it's
was.
in the cards. Amy Zerner, Monte Farber, thank you guys both for coming through in a clutch. These
Anytime.
guys came through in a
used to
clutch.
that.
And I'm gonna toss it back over to Bridget, who?
Yeah.
Jackie and Bill.
Is this thing on? Hey, there we go. We got a background now for a second. We didn't have a background. I have no background.
This is JB.
What can I do?
You know, instead of J Lo, it's JB.
If you're just joining us, we can't believe this is a show either. This is Weekend Live, the Hamptons Now. We need your tax dollars. Send them to LTV.
Please
We
do.
have an event coming up on August 4th. We're going to tell you more about that as it gets closer. But this weekend, this is Weekend Live, the Hamptons Now. And at Canoe Place, the lovely Stella Cole James Taylor is a big fan of hers. She has over 1 million followers on, she's a jazz singer, and she has over 1 million followers on Instagram. She has covered Miley Cyrus stuff. There's a video of her doing one of her songs.
so beautiful.
Yeah, she's stunning. Went to Northwestern, not bragging, but that's an Evanston school. Bill McCuddy briefly attended that, and I mean so briefly, it's kind of frightening. But I also wanted to tell you, since we're mentioning Canoe Place, that this week I had the great pleasure, and so did Bridget, of attending at Canoe Place Jeff Goldblum. Now, if you only know Jeff Goldblum as the actor from The Fly or Jurassic Park or any of that stuff, his little side hustle at 73, married to a 41-year-old woman who was there and is stunning.
God bless.
He's got a jazz band. He's got like a little orchestra,
talented.
a 6-member orchestra.
So
there he is
talented.
last night, or I should say Thursday night. We taped this on a Friday. There he is on stage at Canoe Place, sold out, 400 people, packed to the gills. And I want to tell you, this guy, it was supposed to start at 8 o'clock. At 7:30, people are filing in. So he jumped up on the stage, starts playing like all of these really interesting little movie games, trivia games. He says to the audience, is there anybody here I know so I'm not embarrassed, and didn't say hello to you. A woman stands up and said, we had a romantic thing like 1 million years ago and we were just ships passing the night. He said, that sounds fascinating. I want to hear more about it after the show. He didn't realize he was in Long Island. He didn't know that Hampton Bay, and this is a guy at 73 that is sharp as a tack, don't get me wrong, but he had obviously just flown in and didn't realize that Hampton Bays was in Long Island. So we're going to have a little fun with that in a piece that I'm developing for Dance Papers. At any rate, a really, really, really great night. Now, speaking of great nights, if the weekend weather, or if you just want to get out and go to the movies, the kids are saying, what do they want to see?
Yeah.
We caught up on the red carpet for the world premiere this week in Manhattan, actually at Lincoln Center, for Deadpool Wolverine. And we sent a crack team there with an iPhone, and here's what we saw. Take a look.
Let's fucking go.
I think Hugh Jackman just cursed on LTV. We apologize for that.
Well, we can do that too.
Kids don't use that language at home. Deadpool, Whirlpool, Dead Man, Wolverine is opening this weekend worldwide. It's going to make $350 to $390 million, according to boxofficeguru.com, and
It's going to be a big draw.
about 150 to 200 million here in the United States, playing at Sag Harbor and Regal East Hampton. So yeah, go and see it. It's a lot. I haven't seen it, but everyone that I trust said it's kind of like a takeoff on a Marvel movie, and it's really, really fun.
I'm so surprised you haven't. You see everything.
I was supposed to go Monday night. I did not. Hey, we are super excited because one of our regulars is here. Jane Ubell-Meyer has a brilliant little company, and I'm not just saying that because she's sitting here, although that helps, called Bedside Reading. And what she does is she takes authors and introduces their books by your bedside in upscale hotels. Jane Ubell-Meyer, welcome.
Thanks so much, Jackie. So nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you. I'm so excited.
Me,
This
not
is
so much.
great.
No,
Yeah, he's the old
we've been
hat.
together. So what people need to know is that Bill and I have been on the red carpet for the Oscars for
Wow.
like 6-7 years.
Right.
It's on my
Right.
bucket list.
It's
Will you
So-
take me next time?
You're right at the top of the list.
I was stuck in the control room.
Jane invented or one of the first people to have an Oscar swag bag.
Right.
She was in charge of what all the people who presented got to take home with them, and that exploded into craziness because
Crazy stuff.
big
Really, an
screen
industry.
TVs and trips
Right.
to Tahiti, and then eventually the Academy said, whoa, what about just a cup of coffee?
Exactly.
And so that
the
business.
IRS said that too.
Yeah, right.
That's
So
exactly
no more
what happened.
swag bags.
Well, it's a different industry, and I'm completely out of it. And in fact, 7 years ago, I started Bedside Reading. This is my 7th anniversary in the Hamptons, and starting, thank you,
That's really
August
amazing.
15th. In fact, I just want to share, and I'll give this information later, but we're having a 7th anniversary party at the Capri Southampton, which they did an incredible renovation.
Yeah.
Oh, the Capri, I just met the
Yeah, the
owner
place is
of
fun.
the Capri the other
Lovely,
day.
lovely
Yes,
people.
lovely
So we're gonna have
fellow.
authors, and we'll have cocktails and food, and so we're gonna
fun.
invite a lot of
Everyone
people.
watching
There
can
you
just go to that.
There you go.
No, they-
RSVP
yeah.
RSVP first, and we'll.
So
let you know.
I don't see any Bibles in this lovely.
Yeah, but I did a good job, didn't I?
Yeah.
Right. You know, the Mormons. Never mind.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
No, what a great idea. People check in and you encourage them to steal them. You
Well-
say, well, take one or two with
Right.
you.
So the way it works in the Hamptons is that we have a cute little tote bag. And
that
we have 2
color.
or 3 books in a tote bag, and when guests come to the Mill House or the Capri or the Maidstone or the Baker House or Marham and wherever, we have 9 hotels here,
Wow.
they get a little swag bag of books to take home. And a lot of these books are, they may not have heard of them, they may have, and I'll give you an example. Scout's Honor is a thriller. It is unbelievably fantastic. This day that it was published, it became a bestseller on Barnes & Noble, a bestseller on Amazon, and it's a great thriller for the beach.
Wow.
So that was great.
And we don't know, I'm sorry to put it this way, John McNellis is a new author.
He's
Someone-
a new, well, he actually has had business books out before.
Ah,
So he had one small novel, and now this is really growing, and it's going to be everywhere.
You know what's amazing is that this really helps the library, and I say that people used to go and check out books at the library,
And bye-bye.
take them to the beach,
Goodbye.
get a
And-
bunch of
right.
sand in them and
Right.
ruin them,
Right.
and this way they don't have to worry about taking to the
or
beach.
if it's Fahrenheit 451, throw it in the bonfire.
No,
It's very
exactly.
meta.
Well, I'll tell you something, how this started is that when I was 22, just a few years ago, I was dating a guy who was a little bit older. He said, Jane, if you learn how to scuba dive, I'll take you to the Caribbean. So like an idiot, I jump into the pool at the YMCA in New York City. We go to St. Martin's. We go to this gorgeous resort. Just before he opens the door, he says to me, you know, Jane, I really like you, but.
Ouch.
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 The only thing that saved me, and I wasn't even that crazy about scuba diving, but I learned
The
because of
things we
him.
do for men,
Exactly.
honest to God.
It's all about the guy, right? And what happened was that I had taken a book with me. It was called Cry to Heaven by Anne Rice, 544 pages, and it saved my 7 days.
Yeah, that's a sexy book.
Wait,
It
you're
was
with this
great.
guy for
Woo!
7 days, and what he says to you right before you open the door is,
Not so.
this is my room, that's your room across the hall?
Exactly.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
terrible.
I was so young.
What's that guy's name and where is he living?
Ironically, his first name is Rick, which is my husband's name, but it's not the same.
So it was an omen.
It was an omen. She pulled one of those cards.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Monte said, yeah,
But-
we called that years ago.
But
Yeah.
years later, after the celebrity gifting industry, I kind of had to regroup. My best friend passed away. Actually, her name is Noreen Fraser. She started Stand Up to Cancer. It was her brainchild.
Wow.
She passed in 2017 with chills.
Oh,
And I had to regroup and rethink, and I said, what do I love to do? And I love reading and 5-star hotels.
oh my God, there
Who
you
doesn't
go.
love to go to the Pierre or the Waldorf Astoria or the Maram or, you know? So I came up with this idea of placing books by the bedside based on that guy
Look at
taking
that.
me to St. Martin's, and thank God I had a book with me.
A good idea out of an idiot.
Exactly.
Yeah, we don't
I
want
love
to give
that,
him any,
yeah.
right, he'll want a royalty now. We can't do
Yeah,
that.
that's
Yeah,
right.
forget his name.
Right, but I just want to share, so a number of our authors will be at Authors Night, and
Wonderful.
we love Authors Night to help the East Hampton Library, as you so eloquently said earlier. So usually Deborah Royce is there, so this is an older book of hers, which I love, and I'm hoping that they
Ruby
create
Falls.
a movie out of this. It's so brilliant.
Oh, okay.
Right, and you know,
I think
Christy,
I read this.
right, Christy Cashman.
Yeah,
Which
this
was
was a
about horses.
fabulous
Right.
book.
And
Which
you
was
met
about horses. There we
Christy
go.
at the
Yes,
Maidstone.
yes,
We had a
yes.
party for her.
Yes,
Great
lovely.
Right. And so, and
Let me tell you the truth about horses. They're expensive.
Oh my
Exactly.
gosh, tell me about it.
What
They're
I
like
s-
boats.
What
A
I
big
said about
hole
my
in the
wife when she
ground.
was in the Hamptons Classic is, there's my wife
Right.
riding my 401k.
exactly. And Steve Madden was here last year. I don't
Oh
know
yeah,
if you
Steve
remember.
Madden.
yes,
That's
yes,
a great
right.
book.
That's a
The
good
It's a
book.
great book. and
He's
and
the Steve Madden.
I love Steve Madden. Right.
Oh, and this one
Right.
is really good too.
And Nelson DeMille will be here with his new book.
Yeah,
So this was,
But
I
this is
believe, a
one
couple
from
years
her
ago.
Maidstone.
couple
yeah,
years
this
ago.
one was very good as well.
Right.
What great books you've
So-
got.
Yeah,
And you
this
know, I
is
want to give you a bit of a
really
shout
good.
out. Not only are you doing an
The
amazing thing
maze
with
is
these
really
books.
hard to, wait, I've
This-
almost got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
this lady is an amazing
joke.
artist.
Okay.
Now
This
she
maze- yes,
has
she's
a
an amazing artist.
website, and she's got all of these paintings that she's done. I was so impressed.
Let's
when
show
I
this to
found
that
this.
camera and
Thank
see
you.
if we can get a
Can we
or-
get a
or
close up
move this one in.
move
so we
this
don't
in?
care.
There we
Yeah,
go.
there we
Whichever
go.
one. Pick a
Yeah,
camera.
when
any
did you
camera.
start? I've known you for years and I didn't know you were
Unbelievable.
painting.
She's
30
just
years.
unbelievable
Okay.
painting.
Started when I was,
Look at this.
Ten.
This is
That's my problem.
gorgeous.
People tell me things I
Thank
just.
you.
Really
Thank
nice.
you.
I'm so impressed.
thank you.
So impressed.
That makes me feel so good that somebody actually knows that I'm an artist.
High five. Come on.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Hey, listen, Jane, it's a
Yes.
fabulous concept.
really is.
We wish you the best. When
Thank
I
you.
go anywhere now, I'm gonna steal the book and use your name. Whether it's
Absolutely.
part of your program or
Hey.
part of your system or
Yeah,
not.
we just say she
Right.
told us.
Barnes
She
and
told us
Noble,
we-
wherever I am. I'll just pick one
I
up.
say
and,
Jane said it was okay.
Jane
Jane said it
She has
was
a great website too, Jane.
Yes.
Bedside
Oh, yes, let's show your
reading?
website,
Yes.
Bedside Reading.
Okay.
We
Bedsidereading.com.
Bedsidereading.com.
And it's,
Fabulous.
you do a little writing for that too, you sort of recommend things.
I
and then
do.
there
I
you
do
are in bed.
recommend.
There
I
you
am
There
are.
you are in
That
bed.
racy
Right.
shot of you.
In fact, we're gonna do a photo shoot at the Mill House. I'll be in bed with books, and I think you guys have to come and like jump in, and you'll be on the cover of the magazine.
I'm in.
Wow.
I'm in.
Okay.
I'm in. You
Okay.
tell me where and
All
what
right.
bed, and I'll be there just for Jane.
Pajamas
Everybody-
optional. No, I definitely want pajamas with me and blurring. And so
It
whatever you
was
can
so
do.
wonderful
Thank you
having
so
you.
much.
Thank you
Thanks, Jane.
so
Thank
much.
you.
And we will
again.
see you at Authors Night. In the meantime, if you just joined us, there's the sign. It's Weekend Live. And
Get live.
you're wondering what the weather is going to be like this weekend. Here's a look at the weather.
This forecast is brought to you by sponsors like Canoe Place Inn and Cottages in Hampton Bays. Fine hospitality since 1697. More at canoeplace.com. And by Douglas Elliman Real Estate and the Elliman Insider with all the latest trends. More at elliman.com. And by the real estate financial expertise of the Melissa Cohn Group and William Raveis Mortgage. Let our family bring yours home. More at raveis.com. And by the James Lane Post, covering arts, culture, and lifestyles on the East End. More at jamesLanePost.com.
There we are.
There we are.
At least it's going to be a nice weekend.
Oh
which
my
is-
gosh.
Just to prove we have technical people, we like to catch in action the new cameras being changed and moved around.
we
Yeah,
did
it's
See
gonna
that?
be a
Did we
beautiful
see that?
weekend.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And we like
A little behind the scenes.
It's breaking the third wall.
Exactly. I
We
like
break
that.
things around here all the time.
And
Break the fourth wall.
I want to remind you at LTV this weekend, go see Music Man Jr. It is here
Please
all
go.
weekend. If you're watching this on Sunday, there's a matinee.
Support LTV. It's a really important aspect of our lives out here.
And as we all know, getting a restaurant reservation is tough out here.
Yes.
It is.
Let's see what's available this weekend. Do we have that? Yes, we do.
Open Table
Open
is an
Table.
excellent resource for things that, and what are we looking at there?
Looking at what's available this weekend, Bill.
Yeah.
Almond,
Almond.
Oh, cool, cool.
Oh, that's good. I love almond.
And what else is, we're scrolling up, the Greek restaurant, Aliyah in Bridgehampton, they have some Rezzi's Bridgehampton Inn restaurant. I'm trying to get,
This is amazing because, there's this perception out here that you can't get into anything.
Yeah, because Patrick keeps spreading that word.
what that up?
Fake news.
All
The guys in real estate and women in real estate do that. But that Philly Astoria, or however that's said, in Bridgehampton is outstanding. And I think even through the summer, if you go there early enough, there's a happy hour there where it's quite reasonable. All right, so be sure to check out everything at Resi.com.
That was Open Table, but whatever, it's all the same thing. But if you don't want to try to get a
If we
reservation.
only rehearsed.
Yeah, there we go, we obviously don't.
Hey,
But
introduce us to our next guest.
well, if you don't want to try to get a reservation and you have the bucks, you might want to hire a private chef. And luckily, we do have a private chef here today. We have Brian Arruda, who actually started something called Executive Chefs at Home, executivechefsathome.com, if people
Correct.
want to get your info. And so you have an interesting story, Brian. How did you get started in the culinary business in general?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me.
Thanks for
Hold that applause to the end.
See how you feel in 10 minutes, Brian, and let us know.
I grew up in a small fisherman town in Stonington, Connecticut,
Right.
close by the
Stonington,
Misty
sure.
Seaport. My father was a deep sea scallop fisherman, so I was kind of always surrounded by food. And then
Did he ever go diving with Jane Ubell-Meyer?
That's who was going to take her scuba diving, your dad?
Yeah, right.
No way. There you go.
Mom? Okay, no.
I would say that pretty much launched my interest for food, and then I went on to I attended the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York. And then I just found myself moving around. We went from Boston to Colorado to Las Vegas, down to South Florida, and then up to Boston again before I then ultimately moved to New York City and landed a good job working for Daniel Boulud.
Cool. But you have food in your veins, for lack of a better word, because your family actually was in the food business. They had a pizza place, right?
Yep. My grandfather had a pizza place way back in the day called Selico's Pizza, and now my parents now
Like Mystic Pizza? Was it up in that hood?
Yeah, well, sort
Sort
of.
of.
Westerly, Rhode Island, right over the bridge, so close enough. And then my parents now own.
Do you like pizza to this day?
Of course.
Really?
Best pizza in the Hamptons.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with.
I don't mean to brag, but
Feeney.
I don't mean to brag. Oh, Feeney's the
You
best
gotta
pizza
go
in the
with Feeney,
Hamptons.
I think so.
Yeah, I think
used
you're
to-
right.
I think their pizza's pretty damn good, but I'm biased to Sam's in East Hampton.
Yeah, I mean, I stay in Amagansett, so I don't usually, we don't venture out too far. So Feeney
And
tends to
anything
be
that helps Jerry
convenient.
Seinfeld make more money. The kid has got to get new Porsche every week. Anyway, so this is what I'm fascinated by is this. There are people who don't want it for other reasons besides they can't get a reservation. They can afford to have a private chef and they want what they want, how they want it. And do you find it for a family? Do you have to do like 6 or 7 different things?
It really depends. I mean, the process usually starts out with a client or a family or someone of interest reaching out, and some people have done it before, so they kind of know how it works. Some people have never done it and they're curious, so they say like, we'd love to. Maybe they're expecting a new member to the family and they just need a little bit of help, and we'll help. We'll sit down and have our conversations, whether in person or over the phone, and really try to understand who the client is, what the expectation is, what they want. And then we'll sort of take that information back. We'll go through our database right now, which is just shy of 450 chefs across the country. And,
You've actually put together a database of private chefs and you're placing them around the country.
Correct, yep. So we operate in all states. We've done work in 7 other countries. But the Hamptons is a great example because it's our biggest market, the amount of basically Memorial Day to Labor Day, it's crazy.
Now, do most people who call you, do they need it for a single event, or do they say we need a chef for the summer?
Well, in the beginning, we were just focusing on long term, which was like anything above 3 months. But now we're doing everything. We'll do a backyard party, a Friday night Shabbat dinner, all the way until annual jobs that.
And you have enough working freelance, let's call them chefs out here, that
Yeah.
you can plug into all
Yeah.
of these things?
Absolutely, yeah.
What's the weirdest request?
Man.
My daughter had a birthday party last year and she had those guys come with the hibachi and they take a sake squirt gun and they shoot sake in everyone's mouth. You do that.
Oh, is that as much fun as it
No,
sounds?
I mean, that was the craziest
Do it
thing
if
I'd
they
ever
ask
heard
for
of.
it.
Yeah.
We had during COVID we had some interesting requests. I think we had a gentleman who was asking if we could find a chef that would cook for them, but in the chef's home, but film it so the client could watch it live from their home and then bring it over.
That sounds like a Sharon Stone movie or something. I don't know.
Or a TV.
We stay away from that.
Yeah, but COVID is where you kind of got the idea to start executive chefs.
Yep. So prior to COVID, I was running Daniel Boulud's restaurant in the Upper West Side, across from the Lincoln Center, Boulud Sud.
Say that 3 times real fast.
Yeah. And then basically COVID happened. I moved home, staying with my parents for a couple weeks, and we get a call from one of the clients who had been a regular at the restaurant. And Danielle had said, hey, the only necessity is that you got to have a car. So I was like, great. None of the other chefs in the company really drove. I was the only crazy one who had a car in the city.
Alternate side of the partnership.
And I started working with them, and over time they had, friends come over, and their friends said, oh, you know, do you have any friends that want to cook for us? And I'm like thinking to myself, every chef I know in the country is unemployed. So I'm like, this is great. So I started helping out. It started off as a way to help my friends find work. And then it just became like something that was happening organically. So eventually, you know, I met with a lawyer, talked to my dad and whatnot, and said, you know, let's give it a shot and turn it into a company. And
We alluded at the top of the show when we were talking about you to the people, and I said we had a conversation before about how specific people are becoming now. They really know all about micro, macro, all the farm to table and everything. So they really have specific requests. And if you can't fill it, you were telling me, you go find who can.
yeah, I mean, I personally will take jobs here and there. You know, I tend to try to focus more on the company as a whole. And then I have some clients that I'm very loyal to that I, you know, sort of helped me along the way, that I'll still do dinners for. But most of the time when we get those kinds of requests, we really, you know, dig in to find who's the chef that has the experience. You know, is it a nutritionist, or, you know, maybe they have a nutrition degree. Or,
I need 4 ounces of protein, I need 6 ounces of this, it can't be over this, it can't be this or this or this in it.
Yeah, and we have chefs that work with several athletes, you know, just people, you know, all over the world that request certain diets that
Some
and
famous
specific
people who
diets.
We're not going to
mention.
But we do have some behind the scenes photos of you doing an event. And what is one of your favorite events you've ever done?
Gosh, I mean, I personally really like doing events in the Hamptons. You know, whether it's on the beach or it's in someone's backyard. I just find that it's good to get out of the city, but two, it's also it's nice being able to work with the farms, like true farm to table. You know, we build relationships with all the farmers that, you know, whether it's amber waves or balsam or, you know, whatever it may be. So I like to think we get, you know, we don't get first pick, but, you know, we're able to get our hands on some of the good stuff.
Are we getting the good stuff at all these pop-up farm stands that happen in the markets around here? We're really blessed in that way.
Yep.
So you brought a little something for us to try. Is this one of your sample? Let's there you go.
Oh, there you go. Oh, look, wow.
This is tuna.
Yep. So this
And
is.
what have we done to it?
So this is.
What have we done to it? How have we prepared it?
I chose tuna one because it seems to be among the most popular. You know, people just love tuna. Everybody wants to eat tuna, especially out here in the summer. So this is just a very simple, delicate dish. So you have some.
Do you mind if I try some?
Yeah, that's for you. Some lightly cured local tuna that we got over in Amagansett, and it's just seasoned with a little raw shallot, a little furikake, which is like a seaweed spice blend with sesame, seaweed, and bonita, and then a little bit of sesame oil, chili oil, and some mustard greens.
Wow, that was
Mustard
fantastic.
greens. Yeah, it's got a little kick. There's a little color, and it's delicious.
Real quick, so do name some of the chefs you've worked with, and how have they influenced you? In addition to
So I started off my career working for Thomas Keller. I spent 2 years working at Bouchon in Las Vegas.
Right.
And during that time, I traveled around to Yountville and Beverly Hills, and you know, sort of help the team when help was needed. And then during that time, I was also working for Jose Andres.
Wow.
So that was about a 2-year stint, but more on the part-time side. When I left Vegas, I moved to West Palm Beach, and I took a position with Daniel Boulud at the Brazilian court on Palm Beach Island.
Remember that? Yeah.
And I spent 4 years there until sort of making my way to the top, and then they asked me to relocate to run Bar Boulud on Boylston Ave in Boston, in the Mandarin Oriental.
Cool.
And that went really well. And 17 months later, Danielle reached out and said, you know, can we get you to move to New York City to take over Boulud Sud? So that was sort of, you know, that what I was doing. And if I think back, you know, 6 years ago, if I thought I would be doing private work or consulting or this kind of thing, I would have never guessed.
The name of the website is Executive Chefs at Home. Do we have the website there?
Yeah, there we go.
If people want more information about what exactly you do, Brian, they can get it there if they want to hire you.
And is there any world in which it is feasibly if you have a big family, does it sort of rival restaurant prices if you?
Yeah, I mean, we in the beginning we thought, you know, this might work really well during COVID, and then after COVID, things might go back to normal. And what we experienced was the complete opposite. I mean, so many chefs took the opportunity to build their own name, build their own brand, and we've been very successful.
So the same way that Jane Ubell-Meyer finds like new authors, you're like helping some young chefs become household names.
Yep,
and then they write books, and then that goes into her
Jane's
bedside.
All right, what's the one food you're embarrassed to as a chef to let everyone know that you eat? What's your favorite junk food?
Man, I mean, I'm not afraid to eat fast food. I love McDonald's.
Oh, you do? Okay, cool. What's your favorite thing at McDonald's to get?
Chicken sandwich, fries, always. And
Can you make it?
probably
Can
the
you
only time
reverse
I drink
engineer it and
soda.
figure out what's in it and sort of make your own Big Mac if you want?
I bet, yeah, you totally could, yeah.
And it would only be $1,100. All right, well, thank you so much for
Brian,
joining
thanks
us.
for taking the time to
for
come
bringing-
and join us. And we know you have a really busy schedule, executive chefs at home.
Thank you both very much for having me.
And that tuna is amazing. Jackie, when you're done reading your book, will you come try some
Oh,
tuna?
I'm sorry, I was imagining myself at the beach, reading.
There you go. She's imagining herself.
Hey,
at
if
the
you're
beach.
not reading a book this weekend, you may go to the movies. We gave you a little look momentarily at the red carpet, but if you're wondering what this Wolverine thing is all about, Deadpool Wolverine, here's the trailer. Take a look.
Happy birthday to you.
All right, okay. It's been a challenging few years, for sure, but I'm happy. That is because of each and every one of you. I'm the luckiest man alive.
Make a wish, buddy.
Wade Wilson?
Who's asking? Whoa, 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 whoa. Is that supposed to be scary? Pegging isn't new for me, friendo, but it is for Disney.
Mr. Wilson, you appear to have soiled yourself while unconscious.
I wasn't unconscious. Who are you? Why am I here?
Walk with me. Wade, you are special. This is your chance to be a hero among heroes.
I smell what you're stepping in, Sensei. Your little cinematic universe is about to change forever. I'm the Messiah. I am Marvel Jesus.
God, please! Oh my fuck! God, I love this part. Wait!
Don't just stand there, you ape. Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much.
Sag Harbor. That was Deadpool and Wolverine. What an incredible movie that's going to be playing in Sag Harbor and East Hampton. Don't miss it. And now we're here with Real Estate Roundtable with our very famous Melissa Cohn and James Peyton with the Corcoran Group.
Thank you for having
Welcome,
us.
everybody. How
Thanks
are
for
you?
being
You know, on everybody's lips, it's all about the interest rate. I know I keep asking you that every time you're here, but give us the lowdown.
Well, so the good news is this morning, the PCE index, which is the Fed's favored inflation index, came out, and it was where the market expected. So year over year in May, inflation was at a rate of 2.6% according to this index. And in June, it came down to 2.5%. So that basically has opened the door and sort of sealed the deal that the Fed will cut rates this year.
Hallelujah.
But they're meeting next week, and they're probably not going to cut rates next week. What we expect is next week they will sort of, set the runway and say, we've seen the evidence that we need and that we will, shortly be cutting rates. And the expectation is basically odds are 100% that the Fed will cut rates in September, and odds are great that they'll cut rates again in December.
So how many rate cuts do you think will happen this year?
Max would be 2, September and December, unless the economy fell off a cliff in the next month, which would make it sort of an interesting conversation as it relates to the election, which also plays into interest rates. But the good news is that the sense at the moment is that mortgage rates are headed downward. Now, the bond market has sort of built in these 2 Fed rate cuts. So the good news is that mortgage rates can come down before the Fed cuts rates. You know, it would be great for us to have a great August out here.
Yeah,
You know, I was thinking on the way over, it would be great if real estate traffic was as much as the traffic was on 114 this afternoon.
Oh my Lord, it's gotten worse and worse, hasn't it?
it's
It's been crazy.
But there's optimism in the markets that rates are going to be coming down, and that's good for us because it'll help people who have been locked into low interest rates in their current homes.
Yes.
Be willing to put their homes on the market. People are not going to go from a 3% mortgage to a 6.5% or 7% mortgage. But if rates come down into the 5s, I think people are more willing to make that leap.
So I think we also have to educate buyers and sellers that gone are the days of the 3% interest rate. Those days are never coming back unless, like you said, everything falls off a cliff, correct?
That's correct. I mean, the reason that rates were as low as they were during COVID was because of the pandemic and the devastating impact that had on our economy. And the Fed was forced to bring rates to 0 in order to help keep the economy moving.
Okay. Well,
none of us want to go back to that again.
No, you're absolutely right. Okay, James, what's on the
Weigh in.
scene with sales and purchases?
Well, the first quarter, second quarter were very busy. I think we all saw that. And then traditionally, as Memorial Day came in, it really halts and slows down. But I think that also, the perception that rates are going to come down also ignites the market. Most of our buyers in this area aren't going out and getting straight loans, so they're doing in-house, lending. And I think that since July 4th, you've really seen a big tick in that. We're coupled here with extremely low inventory that we still have, and you see that as well. And I think that's going to be the case for the next, 2 to 3 years going forward.
So you don't think that with the interest rates lowering, which we're hoping they do, that sellers will now, jump in and say, okay, I need to downsize, I need to upsize, now would be a good time and more inventory, or
We
no?
haven't seen that yet. We'd still like to see that, but I think that as it comes into the fall, hopefully the more inventory will come into the market.
Rates haven't gotten low enough yet for that really to...
That impetus.
Yeah, exactly. The ignition switch has not been flipped
Certainly
yet.
the last 2 years, mostly you're looking at a very tight just new development coming on the market and estate sales and things like that.
Right.
But most people are not giving up their great mortgage and have to get a lesser home at a higher price.
Yeah, they just want to hold on to what they have at the moment. So we do, despite low inventory, we do have several open houses. So can we take a look at those right now? Some lovely homes that are on the market. Let's roll it. Now, what are we looking at here, James? Where is this? $1 million question.
Where is this?
This is Sag Harbor.
Oh, there
right?
we go.
Wouldn't this be Sag Harbor? Well, we really know where we are. This looks like 86 Pine Street in Noyak, Sag Harbor.
No prices.
No prices. Okay, it's a 4-bedroom, 5.5 bath on 2 acres, 4,500 square feet. Open house from Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m.
Charming.
And it's going to be really good weather. I know, isn't this darling? I could live here. Look, I could. Oh, Jane Ubell, we can do it there in that bedroom. Have the books.
Open houses really pick up when it's raining, though, as we know that too.
Yeah, that's true. But a lot of people get tired of being on the beach on the weekends,
For
so they wanna spice it up. Now this one looks like it's a new construction, 7 bed, 6 bath, 2.5 baths, 2 half baths, pardon me, on Shy Acre, 5,500 square feet. This is on Saturday, July 27 from 1 to 3 p.m. and Sunday, the 28th from 12:30 to 3 p.m. And then the last one, I believe, is in West Hampton. And I don't know if this is it or not, but we're going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you. It's on 408 Dune Road in West Hampton. It's a 4-bedroom and 3 bath on a 0.17 acres. Yeah, there it is, right on the water. Look at that. I mean, how gorgeous is that? This is what people come to the Hamptons for. So please get out there. If you're not in the, what?
Not this show.
Not this show, yeah. So, I mean, look at that. You're like right on the water there. That's amazing. So anyway, thank you so much for showing those. Any other little tidbits that people, in order to get a house at a good price or get ahead of the competition, what do you suggest?
Well, I like the tidbit that the top chef mentioned that McDonald's is okay. I think that was sort of a tidbit that everybody could know. I'd like my wife to hear that one. But I think the tidbit is when you find a home that you like, make a move on it. You know, there's a lot of people circling, and everyone's very smart, and the market's very efficient. So when you
And
find
rates
that
will
one,
come down,
it's the
so
one
if
to
you
do it.
buy the house now, you can always refinance your rate later on.
Yeah, because short-term or variable rate loans are actually.
Some really good low adjustable rate options, and when interest rates are lower next year, prices are likely to go up again, so why not buy today?
Yeah, I
There's still a
agree.
very deep buyer pool, and we're going to see that happen as we go on.
And now, we're going to a weekend weather. Have a look.
This forecast is brought to you by sponsors like Canoe Place Inn and Cottages in Hampton Bays. Fine hospitality since 1697. More at canoeplace.com. And by Douglas Elliman Real Estate and the Elliman Insider with all the latest
Well,
trends.
I'll send you the link
More at
on,
elliman.com. And by the real estate financial expertise of the Melissa Cohn
You're
Group
fine.
and William Raveis Mortgage. Let our family bring yours home. More at Raveis.com. And by the James Lane Post, covering arts, culture, and lifestyles on the East End. More at JamesLanePost.com.
Hey, just want to say that we now have a music bed for that, and it's very exciting. And we want to thank all those sponsors who do every week help to pay the bills around here.
Thank
They're
you,
not-
thank you.
They're not huge bills. We're a tiny organization. But the other thing I wanted to mention that we didn't is in weeks past, we have mentioned exactly how much a house is during the real estate roundtable, and that's not to be done on local television. So if you are interested in any of the things you ever see on this show from the open house or what some of the brokers are talking about, just go to the websites of those individual brokers, and those homes will be very recognizable to you. And you
do
can
a
see
search.
exactly-
They know when the open house is. Go to
Yeah.
the open house, meet the broker that's representing the property.
Jane Ubell-Meyer will be at every home with one of these bags for you, and all the latest motion picture, all the
Jane.
latest books that will become motion pictures. Is anyone gonna go see Wolverine and Deadpool this weekend?
Why? Okay.
Not on the weekend, the weather, I mean.
Well, first of all,
don't
A,
get
we have
enough
nice
money
weather this
from
week.
the rest of the
And B,
country.
like, can someone please tell me, does anyone really like a Marvel movie anymore? I'm like, they're all the same.
This is a
I
send
do.
They're all the same. They're all
This
the
is-
same. I don't even care if they're
This
same
has got
themselves.
Jennifer Garner making a Ben Affleck divorce joke.
Oh,
then that's worth the price
Well,
of
I'm just
admission for
saying,
me.
that's the mindset this time is that there are a lot of in-jokes, inside stuff. If you know it all, there's a ton of Easter eggs. If you don't,
so we're gonna have to do research and studying before we see this movie?
And by the
or
way,
no?
I hear Twisters is good. A couple of people I know saw
80
Twisters and
million
said it
the
was
first
good.
weekend, gonna make another probably 30 or 40 million this weekend. In the meantime, we sent our own Tom Kelly out
Oh.
with you to go
Oh.
house hunting in Sag Harbor. Take a look.
Fabulous.
New York. I'm in Sag Harbor, New York with Patrick, and we're gonna make fun of the town where he sells houses. Excuse me, folks, you won't believe this. That house sold for $8 million. Does that shock you or is that cheap? I was being a dick. That guy thought it was a bargain. We're on Union Street. Some president lived here. Pat can't remember who. That's the John Germain Library. We're in a neighborhood where each house is $10 million, but people need to borrow free books. And you have the public bus drive past you 3 times an hour.
It's on 0.6 of an acre, though.
0.6 of an acre?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 0.4 short of an acre. These houses are so flammable. We pay $8 million for a house to live in a village that still has a 5 and dime. Do you think one day my parents are gonna have a house that's worth $8 million because it's near an old dollar store? Tutti il giorno?
Tutto il giorno.
All right, we're at
Ravioli for $50.
I'm in front of the American Hotel. You guys know that as the hotel where Justin Timberlake got faced off of one drink. Sag Harbor in July. These are the rich white people I want to be and know I'll never fit in with. Sir, you're rich. Stop beeping the horn.
He's at, where is he at? Madison, not Madison in Maine, tonight. In Southampton. Where's Tom at?
Oh, yeah, he's at Main Prospect.
Main and Prospect,
on
okay.
every Friday night, all summer long.
It's
We
a
have 2
wrap,
seconds,
baby.
bye.
You're watching this.
Bye.
See you next weekend.